Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's been a while since I put my face on the screen. The reason I'm doing it for this post is because it's a personal topic for myself, as well as for many of you likely. What brought on this video was a conversation I had with a fellow truth seeker just 2 days ago. He found this video channel and reached out to me and said he would really like to talk by phone because there's something very important in his life and it's important that he talks to me. And hearing that, I said, absolutely, let's have a conversation. And what he shared with me isn't what I was expecting, but I'm so grateful he did because his message was very important, and I know it connects to so many of us, including myself. And so, my hope is that in doing this video, I help out anybody else who's feeling the way he is now feeling and the way I once now felt. What he shared with me is that he's a 24-year-old man living in Los Angeles, and he's been awake since he was 17. And the road of being awake has been really difficult for him. The reason it's been difficult is because he's felt lonely and isolated. He hasn't found acceptance from his family, from his peer group, or from really anyone else in the matters of seeking truth and being knowledgeable about what's really going on in this world. And I know so many of you can identify with that. Well, in his journey, which now brought him to this video channel, he said he is now feeling the darkest he has ever felt in his life because the information uncovered on my channel has shown him just how rigged the game is that we live in. And he knew the world was bad, but he had no idea it was this rigged. And it's brought on a true feeling of hopelessness and darkness in his life. And what he honestly feels like doing right now is killing himself. He feels suicidal. And when he told me this, I said, well, thank you for calling me and telling me this. You're very brave to share this. These are the two things I want to tell you based on what you just told me. I told him that, I'm almost 32. I'll be 32 a week from today, July 21st. I was 18 when 9/11 happened. I just turned 18, a little more than a month earlier. It was supposed to be like the greatest moment of my life. I just started college. I was down in Arizona in this beautiful environment, warm weather. It smells like oranges down there if you've never been it. I went from being very happy to suddenly very sad because when September 11th happened, I wanted to talk to other people about all the things that I saw that were curious about that day, and I was convinced we'd been lied to, and uncovering this lie was very important. And unfortunately, pretty much everybody I talked to put me down, insulted me, said I was a conspiracy wacko, a tinfoil hat, all the insults that you routinely get. And at the time, being a teenager, it really impacted my self-esteem, my confidence, my emotions. And before long, realizing just how lonely I was in this pursuit of truth, I started to think, man, is living in this world even worth it? Maybe it'd be easier if I was just dead. And I really started having thoughts like, maybe I should just kill myself. I'd be in the kitchen making dinner and I think, what if I just took that knife and I just stabbed myself in the heart right now? It would hurt for a second, but then I'd be all done with this. And, you know, I never made the motion. I never made the act to kill myself, but it was a thought that was marinating in my head for years, through the rest of my teenage years, into my early 20s, maybe even up until the age of 24, which this man is in LA who reached out to me. He's currently 24, young, intelligent man. And so I said to him, I've been there. I thought about killing myself. I thought about it for many years at a time. And, sometimes when I think back, I'm surprised I didn't do it for as long as I felt that way. But I'm grateful I didn't because I've persevered and I built back up my confidence and my self-esteem. And, these days I feel good about myself as a person, what I'm doing, even though I still get lots of ridicule and lots of people still insult me. because I know this world so desperately needs truth. And all of us who are working at finding truth in this world, uncovering truth, we are the most valuable people living. This was the second thing I told him. I told him, think about it, man. You are young, you're intelligent, you're awake. The world needs you. The world needs you more than it needs anybody else. All of us who are committed to truth and making this world a better place, we are the future of this world. What is the world without us? So I was explaining this to him, and as I was saying this to him, he goes, you know, man, I'm glad you're saying this. I already feel better. And then he started telling me the cool things about him. He let me know that he was in a band and can sing very well, let me know that he had artistic skills. That's what it's going to take, Truth Seeker. The masses, the asleep masses, are attracted to the arts. They're attracted to beautiful voices and singing. And I was saying to him, what it's going to take is for people like you and I to form real community and start working together side by side, validating each other, reminding us that we're not alone in this world, and going out and doing projects that inspire other people to wake up and join the truth movement. I know this can be done because in the time I've been speaking out, I've woken up a lot of people. In the time I've done this video channel, there's people who've come to this channel and called me a conspiracy retard, a fucking moron, everything else. And you know what? Some of them have stuck around and are now routine contributors to the channel and believe in the message. They came here with the ridicule and the insults, but they were big enough to back up and say, okay, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is something here. And Truth Seeker, the next step is to start forming the real community. That was my real goal when I started this video channel, was to find the right eyes, the right minds, the people who can help build the real community. It's going to take some resources, and it's going to start by creating one physical spot that enough of us can first come to. As I was saying to the man on the phone who lives in LA, I said, as isolated and as lonely as you feel, if you could draw a 10-mile radius circle around you in LA, I guarantee you there's hundreds of other people within that radius who have all the same feelings as you right now and just don't have a place to go to find the other like-minded people in their community. So this really is the next step of the project, you know? I can't just sit on here on YouTube and keep decoding the hoaxes day after day. That's just, you know, it's important, it wakes people up, but ultimately that's not what's going to solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is us truly coming together, showing our faces, and working together on projects within the community. That could even be things such as setting up, you know, an artistic display, a concert on the street, and, you know, singing songs about justice and truth, you know. There really are a lot of us out here that are in the truth movement. We are a small minority, but we are a group that will definitely grow if we let our presence be known and we show ourselves in numbers. So when I was talking to him, he was getting real excited. By the end of our conversation, him and I talked on the phone for like an hour and a half. It started with this suicidal talk, but by the end, we were talking about how we could come together and work on projects, and we were brainstorming all sorts of things. And I can only imagine a room full of, you know, a group of people and all of us sharing our talents, abilities, what we can contribute. What could come of that? And that's really what I want to see. It's not just him that I talk to. There's other people I talk to. There's a woman who's texting me right now in Connecticut on the other part of the country. I just dropped my phone. I was going to show you the text message, but whatever, that doesn't matter. She's just talking about how lonely and isolated she feels right now. You know, we have to do something. The time is now, Truth Seeker. If you're out there, if you're watching this video, if you have the ability to break away from whatever routine is in your life and contribute to something like this, please get in touch with me. Please comment. Please let your voice be heard. Unfortunately, 6 months ago, I had a lot more resources to contribute to a project such as this, but I was robbed, and I should have had better security. I lost a lot. I've been trying to save back up, put money together to work back at this project, because this is what my motivation in life is. But we really have to come together now and not later. And and take this movement to the next level. It's going to be people like us. The world depends on we truth seekers. So, all of you out there who are feeling lonely and isolated, please remember your true value, your true worth. There's a lot. And don't lose sight of that. In the meantime, I'm going to keep doing this research. I'm going to keep saving. I'm going to keep looking for the avenue to build this community. I have lots of ideas brainstorming in my head, ranging from doing things such as pooling resources and going to an area. This is just an example, Truth Seeker. There's other places like this, but if you've ever been to Detroit, there's blocks of homes that are abandoned for sale, for literally homes for sale between $2,000 and $5,000. Really. I mean, these homes need a ton of work, all sorts of work. But just imagine if enough of us came together, put $1 million together or so. Right now I could contribute, honestly, True Seeker, I've had to save back up from broke. Right now I could put in about $20,000. If I could find 50 more people like me who are willing to contribute $20,000, we would have $1 million. We could buy a whole neighborhood in Detroit. We could renovate it. We could provide places for people to come move to. I honestly would be willing to do this kind of stuff at this point, and I hope there's other people out there who would too. Renovate one of these homes. A home has enough place for a number of people to stay. If we could find other truth seekers to come out, participate in the community, from there, we would have a group of people that we could do real action with. We could go out and let our faces be shown and do the type of work that needs to be done in this world. For example, the next major shooting hoax that happens, such as like the South Carolina church shooting, we could go there as a group. Who knows? Maybe we get a bus, we all drive there, and we go there and we spread truth and we create media awareness and we do whatever has to do to get the word out. There's power in numbers. So these are the kind of visions I have. We have to figure out a way to do it. Maybe it's not buying up a neighborhood in Detroit. Maybe it's buying a warehouse and just having a place for lots of people to come and have, daily seminars, weekly seminars, a place to meet people like us and just communicate with. But it has to start somewhere, because right now it doesn't exist. That's the problem. So those are the two things I really want to talk about, Truth Seeker. For all of you who are feeling lonely, depressed, isolated, hopeless, recognize your worth, recognize your importance, know the world needs you. And the other thing is I'm really looking for the people who want to help me build this community, because it so desperately needs to be done. Also in the conversation, he made the point that he's really starting to get afraid of what's going to happen in, September, all this stuff that's being foreshadowed. I'd like to think that nothing's going to happen, and they're just giving us breadcrumbs and leading us on as they've done in the past. That said, there's never been so many clues lining up for these dates, and it does seem that we live in a nation that is agenda-based by hoaxing the hell out of us and then leading us down an even worse path. And I wonder as a person, how long can they do this for before they take us off the cliff? So with those thoughts in mind, that's why I say the time is now, and each day that we wait, it's just one more day we're set back. And also, Truth Seeker, if anything does happen this fall, what that's going to be for us is some very serious evidence to open up the eyes of those who are still asleep. Because of all this research we've done, because of how we've shown what's being foreshadowed, if they do something, we're going to be able to take all that and show exactly how they work, who they are, and expose the truth that much more. So don't be fearful of what's coming, because if they do something, that's also going to become a weapon for us to use against them. That's the beauty of this knowledge, this research that I'm putting out on this channel. I'm trying to give people real tools to expose the madness. And I know if we come together and all work on this, we're going to do something amazing, something very necessary for this world. So that's the message, Truth Seeker. Keep your head up, be strong, persevere. I know we can make this world better. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.